And I think it's important to consider the notion of a multi-step process against what individuals and families talk about in terms of the diagnostic odyssey and sort of the distress of the uncertainty of not knowing where that odyssey is going to land, and not knowing what to do, and recognizing that the purpose of diagnosis is to actually address that uncertainty and distress in a respectful and compassionate way, to provide some closure around initial concerns and allow the individual and family to kind of move on to the constructive process of actually identifying kind of supports and services. I also wanted to kind of pick up on the issue of values. So, at one level, I feel absolutely like as a clinician working in this space, I feel like there should be a greater emphasis on building training capacity, making sure there's more of us to be providing these assessments. But I also want to flag that we also have a workforce issue. Like, I don't have a lot of unemployed developmental pediatric colleagues. They're pretty busy doing this kind of work. And I think if we bring in that global perspective, I think that's further exaggerated. I'm not sure that there's really enough specialists to go along to meet the diagnostic need. I think this is also relevant in terms of thinking about relationships, as you had raised, Summer, because I agree that sort of that individuals and families having that touch point and someone they could go to. I also think if we consider like both our own context and globally, probably those relationships need to be largely embedded within people's communities. We can't sort of set up barriers and inequities based on where people live and what part of the world. I mean, the opportunity to establish those supports and relationships need to be made in a universal way, and that I think does argue for thinking about how to build capacity and thinking about, for instance, the individual's medical home providing some of that relationship, and thinking about how to share some of this expertise and capacity sort of beyond our traditional specialty centers and into the community. Thanks.